You are almost there, Mom.
I am, baby.
I have bazaar in a couple days and I'm sick. And I'm supposed to be sewing for it. So let's get to sewing. Let's feed the kids and then let's get to sewing. Enough about all that. The dog tried to pretend that she didn't bite the cat. And now I'm gonna go sew, I think. Next to my bed is my cough syrup. I have a whole pile. I had to move it from the cutting table. The kids are playing. I found this fabric online and I washed it just because I was paranoid, and I've been picking at it to see if it would come apart. Now, of course, if you get a real good pick and pull, you could just snip the string, but it will come apart. But it's not like flaking and unraveling, which I was very pleased about. I interfaced the back because it is very stretchy, and I bought some more here. But that's what I made these out of. And these little guys, they're smashed, but those are little cubes. I'm going to cut out a proper hole shape, right? But this was just to give me an idea with the scraps that I had left here. But I think I'm gonna make a pouch with a cross on it because I am sick. My voice is a little scratchy. I pinned some straps. These ones I think are too short. I don't know what I'm gonna do. This is a tote bag. Here's the mic I can't use because it's not the right adapter. Zipper the dog was chewing on that I don't need. So I was gonna have a tote bag with mustard interior, mustard straps. I wanted more of this strap for this, but I ran out. Hi, sweetheart, what's wrong? What's wrong, baby? I had a gal message me yesterday, email me. For the first time ever, I received my first customer email, and she requested that I use this fabric combination, which seems to be my most popular one, if you saw my last video. And I've got to get started making her a makeup pouch, a phone wallet, and a cutie cube. But she was nice enough to tell me to take my time because she knows that I'm sick and prepping for the bazaar Saturday. Hello, Benita, you surprised me. I was like, how did she get my email? Who is this? Who is this? Where's she from? You know, I was so excited. What I'm gonna do now is just sew these straps so that I can get them off my chair because I keep getting poked. There's a gal who commented. Her name is Kawena. Hi. She said she's been sewing professionally for 30 years and she found my channel and I was fully embarrassed. And I just need to make a disclaimer that I started sewing a year ago and I'm a complete barbarian. So the things that I do will embarrass myself. So just please don't be harsh. This bit of fabric was not, I double stitched. I don't know if you could see. 2 stitches right on top of each other. 2 stitches right on top of each other, you know what I mean? I have this strange paranoia that whatever I make is gonna fall apart and then I'm going to embarrass myself. So I double stitch, triple stitch, quadruple stitch everything. And if you watch my other videos, you'll see how obsessed I am. It's really just a waste of thread. I'm not denying that. I just can't help it. I just can't help it. I want to be able to cart elephants around in my totes. It's just a goal of mine. So if you see me going back and forth, 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 just turn the other way. I contemplated quilting with cream, but I thought as much white as there is, I'll do white, which I'm glad for that because it looks fine. I'm gonna use my crappy colored thread to sew the inside. I don't want to use my white. This is 2 panels of the tote. And I didn't baste it or pin it or anything because the cotton grips on pretty easily to the fabric. So that I'm just gonna quilt the entire piece and then cut it into my panel sizes. I'm gonna use my handy dandy little what's it? That's the official term. This is a Husqvarna Viking. Oh wait, I like to go this way. I've discovered. I got this machine on a screaming deal. I saw it on Marketplace, this woman who is not piecing quilts anymore. She's strictly a long armor selling her machine. So I grabbed it. The stitches on this, they're fine. It's not a Bernina, but it's getting the job done. I love it. I love my Husqvarna Viking 690 Opal. 690Q? I forget what it's called. Who's ready for Hallmark Christmas movies? My husband and I have this competition where we're trying to find the biggest error, and that's how we watch Hallmark Christmas movies. He saw this one where it was a Hallmark movie where there was a girl who was a chef And maybe the man was also. They were in the greenhouse, and she was picking vegetables for her fresh. She had to go to a ski lodge or something to make food for these people. I forget what the situation was, but she leaned over to pick vegetables in the greenhouse, and you could see her mic pack, or battery pack of the mic, or whatever it was on the small of her back. I always find the ones where, you know, the hair is like this, and then it's behind, and then it's in front, and then it's behind. Between takes, you know, I always find those. So far, the mic pack was the biggest, and he's winning. But we always watch to try to find the errors. That's how we watch Hallmark movies. I just quilted the tote panels. I have to cut them now to size. But I have this makeup bag, and I'm doing mustard on the inside of the makeup bag. For those of you that are new here, I make my items basically just so that I can recoup the cost of materials and shipping if I'm shipping them. And then I donate the rest to a missionary, 2 missionaries. And so in order to make the items as inexpensive as possible, I don't quilt very close together. I could even go so cheap as to use, the polyfill, but the way that just flies around everywhere, gums up the machine, little pieces are flying around and you breathe them in. I don't want that. I would rather just use the cotton, which is, it's got particles floating too, but just, you know, I feel like breathing in cotton is better than breathing in polyfill. Just saying. I've researched machines just specifically for quilting, and the one that makes the most sense is the Juki, I think it's the T18. I mean, I would want the T18, you could do the 2010, but because they both quilt the same amount of stitches, but I would want the features of the T18, I think it is. The stitch length I've seen on the Jukis is just a bit more reliable. The nice even stitches, you know? But unless you're a quilter, I don't think you'd notice. A lot of people I sell to don't even realize that, you know, things are interfaced or not. So it's like you want to do a really good job and make it perfect, but no one even notices. So it's kind of disheartening. And I wouldn't put down $1,000 on a new machine. I would put that towards savings for my dream machine, which I will probably never get. And by the time I could afford to get it, the next level will come out, which is an M8 Continental Janome. I went to go look at one when I had this machine repaired. I hit with my needle so hard that I messed up the machine pretty bad. Did I mention that I'm a barbarian? And I said, do you have the M8 Continental here? And she said, yeah. And she's been calling me every month trying to get me to buy it ever since. It's gone lower and lower and lower, right? The MSRP, I think, is like $13,000 or $12,000 or something. She said, we've got it for sale for $9,000. And you can get the table for free. The table's like, I don't know, $900 or whatever. I was like, no. And then the next month she called me. She goes, we'll give it all to you for $8,000. And I was like, no. I don't know who you think I am. Nah. But it's funny because she tells me it's never been this low. Bless you. And the sale is the biggest one they've ever had, all to call me the next month and say that there's even a bigger sale, which is strange because she has to change her whole story. It's kind of amusing. You could buy a car for $8,000. You know what I mean? Like, that's just wild to me. That's my dream machine anyway. It's not a Bernina, surprisingly enough. Would I ever go out and buy one? I don't think so. But would I ever, like, complain if one landed on my desk? No. If Janome ever sponsored me one day, like, would I ever be like, no, Janome? No, I can't. Anyway, I'm gonna go cut these. I used a little file folder and I made my 10.5 by 13.5 makeup bag template so that I don't have to measure each time. How are you guys doing today? The whole reason I do YouTube really is to chat. I have made some successful YouTube channels all to abandon them. Oftentimes I'm alone in my house with my kids and we interact, obviously, but it is the interaction with you guys on the internet that has kept me social in some ways. And so the only human interaction I really get for years it had been, especially when I worked at the post office, I was working graveyard. That's when I started YouTube. I was doing nails in the wee hours of the night. I would just be messaging people on YouTube, and that's where I found sort of my closest friends, really. They've been my friends for like 12 years. They've followed me to every YouTube channel I've ever created and all of my millions of Instagrams. Where's my tote? There it is. I'm not forcing you guys to chat with me, but I am saying one of the reasons why I do this is to chat. And I was pretty successful a few times. I was monetized pretty quickly, just this last time. Wait, what is this? Oh dear. I don't know what this is. I usually pin it because I know myself well enough to know that I don't know what I'm doing half the time. The YouTube I had when I left to boot camp I was making $1,500 a month on that one when I left to boot camp. I'm just gonna do one at a time. I don't trust myself to fold it up and get it right. And then I abandoned that just because it's never been about making money on YouTube. But it has been about connection, finding people that have common interests. And I tried doing sewing on my Christian channel, my Christian homeschooling mom channel, but YouTube was not throwing my sewing videos into the algorithm. I would get this same exact video that you guys saw from Market had like 100 views on my other channel. And now it has 1,800 because you can't find the algorithm. So if I wanted to find some people and talk to people about sewing, I couldn't beat them. I had to join them. And I changed my YouTube account accordingly. And now I found you guys. Isn't that crazy? Life's a trip. I hate when the fabric is under, like I wish fabric was see-through just for a temporary second so I could line it up and see what I was doing, see what I'm doing. Because this isn't straight. This is on the, is that 18? Is that line 18? Nope. See, that would have been bad. I would have half an inch. 17 off. 17. This is 17. I need to lower this then to 17. That's plenty. I'm just going for it. I even did planner videos for a while. I cooked. I did planner videos, like planner with Bumble type. And I even get some people that still message me like, please keep doing those. I really liked those. And I haven't been in there even planning myself. So I would have nothing to record. Do you guys like chatty? Do you want to just see me cut stuff, or do you want me to talk to you? Because honestly, I feel like sometimes it's nice to listen to the YouTuber talk. I feel like sometimes it's nice to listen to chatty videos, and then sometimes I get in my head and I'm like, no one cares what you're saying, be quiet and sew. All right, there's one panel. I have to go feed the kids pretty soon, so I'm not going to get much farther on this. Man, I look at people sewing, and you know, the ones that don't have kids, there's no interruptions. They must be able to sew so much. My ability to completely block out the need for water, food, anything that you need to survive, and just black out when I sew, it's uncanny. It's a good thing I've got my kids to keep me fed. Otherwise, I just wouldn't even notice. I feel like this line is not straight. I'm very particular, and I have to tell myself that most people wouldn't even notice. And I just need to let go. But I could really fuss about this forever. And if I make a tiny mistake, I don't even want to sell it. I sell it for discount. I actually want to save this bit of batting. What a strange tail. What am I supposed to do with that? Saving it anyway. This is the outside of the tote. It's like carpet. Do you see? I've interfaced it. This is the inside of it. I don't even know that these go very well. I think they do. I think they're kind of nice together. It's happening anyway. Okay, I need to cut. Actually, I need to cut the square. I usually do like a 3. This is so confusing, really. It really just bugs my brain. A nice gal told me that these are quilting rulers, and that's why they account for the seam. With that in mind, I still can't wrap my mind around what it means. It honestly doesn't matter, as long as it's the same size square cut from each bit, which is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do like this. I'm just gonna cut, and I'm gonna use this that I cut for each. All done with you. Ta-da. This iron is on, so be careful, okay, honey? All right, what are we thinking? This is the first time I've ever done this to something. I interfaced that fabric and then I just zigzagged around. I think it's pretty cute. This will be the pocket for. This will have the mustard straps, and this pocket will go right. I got this idea from Sierra. No, not you, Sierra. Still the other Sierra. My friend Sierra, who does not sew and sends me loads of sewing things. Although the lady had put this on a sweatshirt, across my sweatshirt. I thought that was such a cute idea. I'm just gonna crouch down so that you can see my face. I'm gonna flip this right side out. It's my pocket. I interface it, and then I sew it to something, and then I flip it right side out so that the edges are all nice. Because to me, it's easier to sew it to something and flip it right side out than it is to tuck in the edges so that the pocket looks nice. You know what I'm saying? My eyes are burning. My nose is burning because I'm sick and I'm very tired. I just had a comment from Beth on my video that seems to be making its rounds somehow. It's getting a lot of traction. And I left a reply to her comment about what I think about the prices of my lamps. And I wanted to clarify because I still read back what I wrote and I sound like I always get myself in trouble on the internet. This is why I shouldn't be allowed on the internet. I really shouldn't be. I'm just very honest, maybe to a fault. I know how long it takes me. Low-key, my totes are underpriced. She said that my items are way underpriced. Yes, my totes for sure are. I double stitch every seam. Sometimes I triple stitch. Then with the straps, I go back and forth like 80 million times. The dog bit me a couple times. Not in a vicious way, just playfully. She nipped me. I got in the way of her toy. Looks disgusting on camera. I should probably crop that out. Maybe by the time you see this, it's cropped out and you're not even seeing the gross bite on my hand. My totes are underpriced for sure. My makeup bags, I was saying, I only sell them for 25 bucks because the cost of materials and the time it takes me to make them, I'm still making 25 bucks an hour. I mean, 20 bucks an hour. They do not cost that much to make, especially when you buy it by the yard. I guess it takes a little bit longer if I'm doing the quilted ones. I could probably sell the quilted ones for $30. And this is what the pocket ends up looking like. It's really nice and thick. And then the edges look all right because, you know, I've sewn it and then popped it inside out. So when I sew it onto the bag, it looks nice. And I don't have to like tuck the ends to make it look nice. You know what I mean? I just sew that right on. Super fast, super nice, super easy. Love it. I do a lot of unnecessary stitching. It just makes me feel good. I would be horrified to learn that someone had ever bought something of mine and spent this tote. I'm charging 50 bucks. That's a lot of money. So I triple stitch all the way down. There's 3 stitches. I kind of try to ride up on top of each other so you can't really tell, but I went 3 times. And I also went on this corner a million times because I feel like if you pull the pocket, it'll rip. Now, if I wanted to go really crazy, I wouldn't have just interfaced the pocket. I'd have interfaced the lining too, which I have interfaced the lining. But that's when, you know, I start to have to charge more because just the material cost. But this pocket is interfaced with another piece of fabric. So it's fabric interfacing fabric. And then it's stitched all the way around. And then it's stitched 3 times onto the lining of the tote. And then a lot of the times you'll see people with pockets, they're kind of super flappy. And if you pull the back fabric taut a little bit, as you sew this on, if you pull it taut, it'll make this not so flappy. Does that make sense? I'm lining up the edges of my tote here. And I'm going to double stitch. That means I'm going to go down and around, and then do it again, down and around. And then because I feel like the boxed corners is where there's a lot of stress, I go over that like 8 times. Right? So I definitely am undercharging for the totes, kind of, I guess. You know, if I sell this for $50, if I really take my time and do things like the embroidery and stuff, a tote could take me a whole 2 hours. A whole entire 2 hours to make. The cost of materials, if I'm using anti-soft and stable, close to 15 bucks. Let's give myself $15 an hour. I feel like that's nice, especially since I've only been sewing a year. I don't think that if you've sewn, you know, the longer you've sewn, you could probably charge more per hour, right? I've only been sewing a year, a little over a year. So let's say I'm making 15 buckaroos an hour. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, am I really undercharging $50 for a tote? I don't know. What do you think? Am I just gonna upset the entire world? I feel like it's unfair to charge people that. I really do. I really do. And my tote sizes are 17 by 20. My big ones were 19 by 22-ish, and I sold those for $50 also. But I'm not using any soft and stable on these, and I'm not interfacing the lining. Is it unfair to myself? I don't think so. I really don't. my bobbin. I love the little bobbin alert. It's such a nice friend. You are so friendly, Mr. Machine. Now let's go down a second time. My bobbin made a weird sound, so I thought to myself, was the bobbin that secure? If it's not, I'm going over it again. And that section there, I went over it 4 times. 3 on the rest of it. So I double stitch at minimum, but usually I get a little weird about it. I am positively annoying so many people. It's almost guaranteed. It's almost a guarantee. Boy, this video went left quick, didn't it? Oops. You ever cut too far into your box? The box corner? And I'm going to box the corners here. And that just means that cutout, you take it and you meet the seams on either side together. And then you sew it. Or if you're me, you sew it, sew it, sew it, sew it, sew it. If anything I ever made came apart, I would be mortified. Let's turn this right side out, see what's going on here. Alright, I need to put my mustard thread back in the machine so I can top stitch this all the way around the edges. Gotta iron it, and then I gotta top stitch it.
That's a nice pouch.
Yeah, that's the pocket to a pouch. Thank you.
I like it because you added a white, a pink, a blue.
Yeah, this is actually one whole fabric.
One whole fabric?
Yeah, but it looks like it's stitched together, but it's not. See?
Oh, wow.
Look at that closely over there. That's just one whole piece. I
It
didn't.
looks so good. It looks like you did.
Oh, thank you, baby. That sound right in the beginning reminds me of Yanni. I used to listen to this artist named Yanni. The beginning of that Star Wars song sounds like it. Alright, I added a border to it just because I think that helps it. This is what it's looking like. Oh, honey. Daisy, are you okay? Oh no. Oh no, yeah.
I see Mommy Coopies.
Your head feels pressure too?
Yeah.
Just keep watering.
I love that.
Okay.
Is the waffles done?
The waffles we made earlier, sweetheart?
What?
The waffles we made earlier?
Yeah.
Why, you want more? Look, there's the pocket on the inside. And then, do you think it's cute?
I love that pouch. I love it. I love your pouch. Can I take a picture?
Is it? Did you make a video?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you can take a picture.
Can I stop the video now?
Yeah, sweetheart. Yeah, of course.